Well, we continue to count down to the greatest spectacle in racing, the 106th running of the Indy 500. We are now just 46 days away.
This morning, John Durant is getting behind the scenes, giving us a look at how crews work to restore vintage IndyCars. John is live downtown, and these cars will actually make an appearance, John, in this year's race?
They will, and this restoration team, Carlos, is working year-round to make it happen. A lot of people maybe on weekends like to get under the hood in their garage, work on their own car. Not me, I wish I knew how any of this worked. But the IMS restoration team really takes it to a different level, sometimes restoring or rebuilding Indy cars that are over a century old. Right now, working on about 7 or 8 Indy cars that raced in the Indy 500 from 1912 to 1982. They'll take a lap just before the Indy 500 gets started. And like I said, this is a restoration team that's working 365 days a year to make it happen.
It's an important part for the museum to show that these cars are actually running, living things. They're not just museum pieces. We work very hard to go through these cars and make sure that they do exactly what they need to do on race day.
These machines had their moment in the spotlight. These guys are here to give them at least one more lap.
Right now we're preparing cars for running on race day this year.
Who drove this car?
This was driven by Gordon Johncock. And it was Patrick Racing. So this is the 82 winner here.
And there it is, the closest finish in Speedway history.
I think the last time this car ran was in '98, from what we can tell. So it's been sitting for quite a while.
But certainly not sitting the longest.
The 1922 Bentley, and it raced here in 22. Push the handle in and turn it, and it starts the engine. You have to figure out how they did it back then and make it the same way, because originality is also very important. We can't put modern parts on an old car.
It's work that requires year-round attention.
We're a functioning restoration shop and preparation facility, not just blowing the dust off them and shining the tires up.
And it's a gratifying transformation.
I saw this car run when I was a kid.
Not just for Indy 500 fans.
Well, I remember this car from '82. I would have been a teenager.
But for those getting their hands dirty.
There's a lot of history in this place.
Piecing these memories back together. Here I am still trying to pretend like I work in that shop, even though I don't even know what I'm doing here. But to add even more nostalgia to this, the IMS Museum says they're going to try to get as many of those IndyCar drivers that actually rode in those cars to take that lap before this year's Indy 500. So another memory, especially if you saw that driver ride in that race or even win in that car and get to see them this year in 2022, that's going to be pretty cool.